Now for the track guide. Guys, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out my sim racing course in the video description. Going into the track guide itself, super important, adjust your brake bias with the fixed setup. You can see me here adjusting the brake bias from 52 to 51.5, and that is key because it's super easy around this track to lock up or micro lock up the front tires. So go with a lower brake bias. If you're using the fixed setup, I think the default brake bias is 56. That's too much. That's way too much. You won't be able to brake late, and also you will overheat the front tires. And because this nature of this track is that you have tight corners, you have changes in elevation, then it will build up and it will become worse and worse during the stint. So again, what I'm using is 51.5. I think it's a very safe brake bias that you can use. And going into turn 1, my reference for braking, first of all, before even braking, you want to use all the tracks. So right now, notice that I'm really trying to stay on the right side, not near the wall, because the track will open up in such a way that you will have a bit of grass on the right side, but still you want to use every inch out of the track and do it early enough before the turning. In terms of the braking itself, you see here on the right side this curb with these lines on it. I'm planning to brake when I'm not seeing the curb anymore. So now I'm seeing it, and now you see I'm not seeing it anymore almost. So because I'm not seeing anymore, now I'm applying the brakes. And when going into this corner, you want to be gentle with the braking. You don't want to brake too hard. If you will brake too hard, again, you will overheat the front tires. You want to keep your front tires alive on this track especially. So finding a minimum brake pressure, apexing very late around the end of the green with your tire on it like this. It wasn't a perfect lap here in turn 1, you will see me losing almost a tenth. You can go deeper with your tire a bit more on the left, but when you hit this point, just smash the throttle 0-100 quite quickly, cut a lot here. If you don't cut enough, then this won't be flat. What you want to have is on the exit, you don't want to just modulate the throttle. Once you hit the gas, you stay on the gas, and also you can shorten the distance by riding this curb like this. You can gain like 0.03 just by shortening your distance. That's gonna be like a free lap time, so why not? Now for the next corner, my reference for braking is this kink in the white line. It's a bit harder to spot, but if you just watch the video like this, you will see that the white line has a small kink. It's around the 50-meter board. I'm braking past it. So right now I'm applying the brakes, and what you want to do in this corner, you want to cut a lot the inside curb. So look what I'm doing. I'm braking, again, you don't want to over brake, you don't want to brake too hard, but cut this curb a lot like this, and the moment that you cut the curb, smash the throttle 0-100. Don't go more than this, you can get the off track. So just brush your right tire on the curbing. Now putting the throttle back on, 0-100, this is key around here. This is gonna gain you time. Now for these two, flat out, the first one is gonna be flat out. So look, I'm not braking on entry, I'm hitting the curb, then I'm dropping the throttle, and then I'm picking back up for the second one like this. Don't even brake in between those, because this is a track where you can, again, I'm overstressing this, I know, but this is a track where you can really overheat the front tires. And this is one of the small places where you can coast a bit just to manage the tire temps. So in my opinion, coasting in this corner will be over the stint, over a full race, will be better than adding a small brake, because this will add up. Right now you go into a harder braking zone, you have to steer a lot. So this will make the next corner a tiny bit more difficult. If you do a mistake in the next corner, then the next corner will be a bit more difficult. You're more likely to do a mistake there, and this can easily get out of hand. So take it easier on the tires, take it easier on your steering angle. I'm just doing a lift here. Now pushing the throttle and pushing the car. You can push the car a bit more on the left, so I think there's one more tenth in this corner. Like, you can be a bit earlier on the gas. Have the car a bit more on the left because you still won't get the off track. And now braking in a straight line initially and then turning more and more. But notice this here, this is key. Notice this transition from high braking to instantly dropping to like, what's this, 6%. on the brakes like this and holding 6, 10, 6, 1. You see, the brake shape is, because this corner is longer than you think, and you really have to cut a lot of curve, you really need to keep some pressure on the front tires. You will instantly brake a bit harder when you have more downforce, but then you will drop it into sub 10% on the trailing. This is very important around here. This is like a small secret of this track, because if you're not aware of this and if you will just trail a bit harder, your inside right will micro lock up. You don't want this tire to lock up. That's why we're mitigating it with the brake bias, with braking a bit softer, and generally around this section, around this S section of the track, finding minimum brake pressure is the way to go. Even though your car is capable of braking a tiny bit harder, braking softer, like having the mentality of, okay, I'm not gonna brake as hard as I could brake here, will gain you more over a lap, but more importantly over a whole stint. So with this in mind, we want to cut as much as we can from this curve. The car, we don't want it to be all the way on the left here. If it's all the way on the left, then we'll have trouble into this corner. We want to be, let's say, a tire width of the curb on the left side. If that's the case, it's fine. Now you will just drop the throttle, and again, you can add maybe 2. I just pressed the brakes for 2%, but then I dropped it. Now I'm adding 1%. When going downhill like this, it's better to just do the lift, maybe 1-2% on the brakes, but not more. Same reason, we don't want to overheat around here, but also you will have a slightly bit more grip to turn if you will still hold the brakes, because the car is in a position where it leans on the left and this curb isn't that grippy. You can micro lock the inside left. So again, keeping your tires in check and also shortening the distance. We have to use this curb around here, so in a way I'm sliding downwards on this curb, because if I will go more in the center of the track, I will just cover a longer distance. This is a corner where shortening the distance can gain you a lot, like this. Obviously, whenever you're gonna push the throttle, the car will go a bit wider, but that's fine, that's okay. That's how you will gain a bit of time actually. And for the next corner, there are 2 lines that will work here. You either go all the way to this tree and at the tree you're gonna apply the brake, or you will stay a bit more in the center of the track and you will go a bit deeper, brake in a straight line more, and then turn. Both of them will work. The thing with going at the tree is that when you're braking, you're looking, you see, more on the left. So because we're pushing the car all the way to the left, then when we'll turn, we'll cover a larger radius with our steering wheel. And because of this, we will overheat a bit more the front tires. So it depends. In this lap, I didn't plan to do it like this. It just happened. But I think both approaches will yield close to same lap time. In the second approach, in the one that you're not bringing the car all the way to the left, you're keeping more into the center left, let's call it like this, and you're gonna brake in a straight line. You're gonna brake a bit later to just not lose time, because you're not having the same arch into the corner, if that makes sense. Because obviously this approach, when we go here, the arch in the corner is bigger, and then we can carry a couple more kph. To compensate for this, you have to brake a bit later if you're not using all the track. But the tire temperature that you get from braking later will be slightly less than the tire temperature that you get from covering a longer distance. So overall, I think not bringing the car all the way to the left is a bit better. I just did it in this lap just because it happened. I didn't thought about it. Generally, because I drive many cars, this is the line that works for many cars that does not have this level of downforce. Because this car and this setup has incredibly levels of downforce, then it's not really worth it to bring it all the way to the left. You can take the corner in the center left and that's gonna be fine. Now, when braking into this corner, again, it's the same like previous 2 corners. You want to brake hard initially, I mean not hard, but you will reach your peak, and then you're gonna drop very quickly to 10% like this. And just trail brake like 5%, like what I'm holding now. Cut as much as you can here, push the throttle 0-100, don't go all the way here on the left. You'll think you'll gain something by just pushing the throttle more aggressively, but you'll cover longer distance and you will use the steering wheel more. Overall, you will lose time. So it's safer to not push all the way, stay at the white line, that's fine. Now here we're gonna cut this curb to shorten the distance, and going into the last corner of the track, you can use this space in between this tarmac around here and the white line. You can use this space here and put your tire at the end of the concrete. In the past, you could have used this part right here. This was not an off track, but now it's changed and you can't use it anymore. So we have to adapt, but don't put your tire on the white line. You can get slightly bit more if you go a bit more on the right side. This is such an important corner because it leads to a big straight, to a huge straight. So every inch will translate to half a tenth, something like this. So it's more lap time than you think if you just, and it's free lap time, you just have to properly align the car. I know that if you're a beginner, this might not be quite easy because you have to look in front of the car, then you have to change your vision to the apex. But if you get more comfortable with this and you practice this will come in handy, especially on this track. And while braking into this corner, notice that again I'm braking with 40%. That's not hard braking, you see. And in the previous corners was something like 35, 45. So you see, it's not about braking late and hard, it's about braking in a way that won't unsettle the car and it won't cause your tires to overheat. Obviously, if you will brake way too soft and way too early, you will lose time. But there's a point where braking harder won't yield any more results. And I want you to experiment with this while lapping on this track. Experiment with lower brake pressure than you think you need and see what's the outcome, because you will be surprised on this track. This track, like the first time I raced on it, like back like 5-6 years ago, the first thing that I noticed here is that you don't really need to brake. Like the braking, I was driving an F1 car and it wasn't iRacing, but still, the braking here is just to make the front tires point. It's not to slow the car down. So here's the same. You just want to shave a bit of speed, but mostly to point the car into the right direction. So trail braking, lower percentages. Now, what you can do here better than what I did is to cut this curb more around this part. Around this part, you can cut it more. So, this was a small mistake, but it's like maybe half a tenth or 1/10 more. If you put your left tire and you cut it like this, I go around it and you can gain more time. You see in my delta I'm losing like 0.03 I think in this corner. So there's half a tenth, 1/10 more if you cut it right. But in short, that's the track guide. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around. Check out my course if you want to improve at a quicker pace, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.